My name is Adewale Booker Jr. This is my boy King Kimba, aka the Colonel. We do over here, we try to appropriate, initiate, and take back what is ours, which is Africa, in every way. Fiscally, mentally, emotionally, esteemly, every way you can think of to be resurrected as human beings. So, man, Kimba, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the chat, man. Let's do this thing.
Hey, listen, Adewale, I'm great, and I'm always even better for seeing your face, hearing your voice, man, and really just being in your presence because you are action personified, bro. You know, nah, you're a real life, you're a real life action figure. You
Likewise.
know what I'm saying? Your actions speak loud, and it's always a blessing, man. Every time I come away from a conversation with you, I feel like I'm ready to live life a bit stronger. I mean,
Well,
a little
likewise.
bit.
When my boy's a married man, and I think I appreciate. I think people don't understand. I don't want to say the structure of marriage, but the when you
Dynamics.
have when you can manage yourself and you're within a structure of a relationship that's healthy, you can do a lot more things. Whether people want to get married or not, that's their business. But I think just having a significant person, this good person that's supportive of what you're doing, that's important. Because a lot of people are in these relationships where it's intoxicating. It's not. It's not really. It's not really a symbiotic relationship. It's a more of convenience relationship. So I call that a situationship. So you want to avoid those. So so
Hey, listen, family is an institution, bro.
yeah.
We don't exist without family. No man is an island. We heard this before. You
Yeah,
know.
and that is very true in itself. So the kind of woman that I deal with or choose to deal with has to be in such a manner, carries herself with dignity. She's not hot, but she's beautiful. I think people don't understand the difference.
Ooh.
I heard Boris Cujo say that yesterday. This hot nonsense doesn't work for me. Hot means you're a
Ooh,
facade, but beautiful means you're a human being. You carry yourself with dignity
man.
and pride, and you're
Yeah.
supportive and loving, and all those other things that go into the word beautiful. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Today, man, y'all, thank y'all for joining us so much. Today we go into week 6, man, and what this is what we're looking at is independence and missed opportunities. Because I think Africa, yes, you have independence, but is it really independence when you don't have economic control?
Right.
As they say, political freedom without economic power is incomplete. So the things that we want to touch on today are one, talking points, which is Ghana, Algeria, Kenya, and various other African countries like Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, retain colonial systems, which is horrible, leadership
Oh man.
betrayals, which is countless,
Come
uh,
on.
external interference, which is always every single day, and lessons learned.
Come on.
And then what can we do to better design up. We got videos we're gonna show y'all today because something that new
Yeah.
we don't normally do, but today we're gonna get our show on today so y'all can see some
Yeah.
of the things that we're seeing. So King Kimber, man, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, what we talking about today is you know, independence and missed opportunities is a big deal because we all know, and especially from those who have been listening and following the podcast since we started, is that the development of Africa was interrupted by European powers. We know
Yeah,
that, right? What we talking about today is
I was like, oh my god, I was like, what is going on here?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And we know that the development of Africa was interrupted by
Yeah,
European powers. Okay. S- So that bearing that in mind, years later and centuries later, as history unfold, what was needed was Africa, nations in Africa, to regain their independence.
yeah,
So this is what we're talking about today when we talk about independence and missed opportunities. But we have to contextualize why independence is even really relevant in the conversation,
yeah,
right? Because they were interrupted. That development was interrupted, right? And so when you think of this word independence in that context, it would suggest that that interruption that happened, right, was going to be it was going to be overcome, and that you would pick back up that momentum to development, right? Because independence suggests, okay, you now have back what was rightfully yours for you to become what you were going to become,
me.
right? So, and when we look at that, we start to realize that you know, in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you get a couple of nations regaining their independence who have been nations that have been colonized by Britain and France, you know, getting their independence back so that we're expecting that these nations are going to develop. But sadly, bro, sadly, from the very early stages of independence, it didn't happen.
I call that a blockade, and I can get into the detail of that. So
It didn't happen.
as my brother touched, as he brings the ball this way, what happened was independence was gotten, but what France did was with a conniving, evil self. They had these African countries signing these pacts to say that whatever your GDP is, we get 85% of it. Anything you export it through us so we can develop it for you. No. First and foremost, as John Henry Clark, the great John Henry Clark said, black power, black beauty without black power is useless. And it is true. Now what's happening is that this generation of Africans, particularly millennials, Gen Zs, and Alpha, of course, who are too young to be doing the work, realize that these generation before us is idiots. I call them the drop the ball generation. So the people between our grandparents, which is our parents, I call them the drop the ball generation because they ain't do shit. Pardon my English. It's just the best way I can put it. They dropped the ball so bad that they forgot that traveling to France is less important than developing Africa. So you left development of your country. Why is it that when Europeans go all over the world, whether it's Africa, Asia, Latin American countries, why are they enjoying those countries more than the people that are actually from there? What is this disease that we have as other individuals thinking being white is good? I don't think being Caucasian is cool. There's nothing that they have that I want. You see what I'm saying? And so, which brings me to, and it's funny we talk about this because tomorrow morning, I'll be going to a art gallery show. And my art piece is going to be one of the center points of the art piece, Owadoti. And from what I gather, the gallery director is so impressed with what I did. And then she was so impressed with my artist statement. She was like, oh my Lord, have mercy. This is seriously Pan-Africanism. And so you have to understand, France didn't want you. France is a parasite. Let me start off with that. All these Western nations are all parasites. And the only way they can really exist is to leech off African countries. But if you're going to leech off African countries, what do you need? You need destabilization. You need people that are unpatriotic. They're more concerned with parties than they are with the country. And that's the problem, one of the problems in Africa. So when we talk about countries like Ghana, Kenya, which I think, and I'm going to keep saying this, Kenya is the pariah of Africa right now. They are traitors of the highest order. They don't know how to honor anything. And I don't want to necessarily call it the Kenyan citizens, but for God's sake, why are the political leaders such scumbags? They don't know how to honor the rest of Africa. Everything the rest of Africa goes one way, Kenya's like, well, let's be special. You're not special. You're just traitors. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what you have. We have independence, but we don't have independence. Not in the way you need to have it, in a fiscal fashion, in currency fashion. We had it. You have to understand, in 1987, Nigeria was the last country in the world, of any country, to have the number one currency in the world. So you had to have $2 to get 1 naira. That means when my grandfather was alive, he could send my father to school with just a few nairas. And my dad was balling over it. Both my parents were sent here by their parents with naira. You know how impressive that is? And so the CIA and the FBI spent since 1961, when Nigeria got independence, up until 1987, figuring out how to destabilize Nigeria. You have to understand something. It's true what they say. Nigeria is the African giant. When Nigeria grows up and realizes that you must get in the front. The great Professor Lumumba says it all the time. Nigeria must stand up to what it's supposed to be, which is the big brother in Africa. Once Nigeria goes in one way, the rest of Africa is going to go the same direction too. Because a leader can't lead if they're not leading. So then everybody's in a scallywag mode, right? So you know what I'm saying? So that's, for me, go ahead, brother. I'm going to let you pick it up from there. But that's what we're looking at, man.
At the moment, let's see.
See if I can let me see if I can find a few awesome videos that I like looking at. Because I love looking at these videos where a lot of Pan-Africanism videos.
So at the moment, so Nigeria is 52nd 54th largest economy in the world right
Yeah.
now.
And that's about to change real soon. Real soon.
Yeah. I just want to throw this statement out as well. Europe, um, Africa provides 60% of the EU's cobalt. All
Yep.
right. Europe is highly dependent on Africa for critical raw materials, energy, and strategic economic partnerships to drive its green and digital transitions. As the EU's largest trading partner and investor, Africa provides over 60. Let me say that again. As the EU's largest trading partner and investor, let me say that again.
Third time.
Africa as the EU. Let me say it again. Africa
I feel like I'm watching
as the.
a replay, but it's
Do
live
you,
of the
do you
states
remember?
making.
Coca-Cola used to have this character called Max Headroom. Do you
Yeah,
remember? He's a Max Headroom.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
I think it's a while
Check it.
back. Man, it's been a minute.
Long time ago. Listen, Africa is the EU's largest trading partner and investor.
Why does that not shock me?
Africa provides over 60% of the EU's cobalt, vital for batteries. This relationship is crucial for European economic survival.
Yes, sir.
So it would only seem strategically correct
Yep.
to maintain the colonial infrastructure that was established through colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade. So, though you put the band aid of the name independence
Yep.
on an internal wound, it only serves as an ornament or a decoration on what is nearly a corpse.
It's a camouflage. It's just a camouflage. That's all it is. And what the real dirt is, what you're covering it up with, like a tent. You have to understand something about colonial powers. European nations are parasites, and now African countries are seeing them as what they are. You have to understand the reason why they're able to get away with stuff like this because the people that you have in charge are not the same people like Kwame Nkrumah and individuals like that. They are these corrupt, dishonorable individuals who just see themselves as kings of countries or queens of countries. No, your duty is to serve. And I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to keep on saying this. African countries, African nations, sorry, we're not countries, nations. The citizens need to take up arms against the governments. If your government is corrupt, it's time for you to take up arms against them. They need to suffer for what their consequence they choose or their betrayal of Africa, their lack of patriotism. It's nonsense. No, what's happening is, and it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. You've got, and it's not that it's going to keep happening, but something drastic is going to happen to force all these African countries to unite. And I see it happening because I feel like this, and this is going to sound cold, but the generation before us has to die off. Unfortunately, they got to go. Them dudes got to go in the ground so that the real generation is going to fix it, is going to step up because either they die off or we're going to kill them off. It's just one way or another. I don't want to sound all grimmish, but it's the only word that I can just be honest about it because no person in their right mind can think that we want to live like this and go for another 30 years. Think about this. We're in the year 2025. What has really been accomplished
26.
in the first quarter? We have 75 more years to do work. And that's actually of substantial use. This next quarter we got coming, 25 years, this thing better be popping and hot. I'm talking sovereignty for real, economic, food, technology, all of it. By the year 2020, 40, there's no reason why Africa, and this is going to make you laugh, European nations should be begging Africa for a loan. Can we get a loan? And we need to reciprocate the same energy the IMF does every single day. You can go kick rocks. Bro, and this is no matter what the European nations do, this is inescapable. Their fall is coming.
Yeah.
It's already started. It's just they're doing everything they can to make sure it's not a burnout.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping for. So you know, like when you know a relationship is over and you're gonna leave the girl or vice versa, and you're just trying to make sure that you don't look like a buffoon. That's what they're trying to do. Because they know this generation, our generation, we're not trying to hear all that. we're up on your game. We know your tactics. We know how you move. So you got to
Let me give
boost
you.
it. Go ahead, go ahead.
Check this. Retained colonial systems in Kenya refer to the persistence of administrative, legal, economic, and social structures established by the British colonial government, 1895 to 1963,
Oh my God.
that continued after independence. Rather than dismantling the colonial state, post-independence administrations often Africanized it, leading to a system where, as some critics argue, the tribe replaced the crown, while the underlying logic of extraction and control remained. I want to say this. You talked about the next 25 years and what that looks like in terms of development on the continent of Africa. Some people might think of Africa and look at what it takes to modernize the continent, and they could dismiss it. But for me, when I when I hear that comment that you made, when I hear you make that remark, I think of what comes to my mind is China,
Yeah.
Singapore, and
Russia.
South Korea, Russia. But I want to talk about these Asian nations:
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
South Korea,
Yeah.
Singapore, and India.
Yeah.
In the last 30 years,
Yep.
these economies have exponentially grown and started to emerge as independent. So if they can do it,
We can do it too.
if they can do it, right?
Yep.
And they have not been the backbone of the economic development of other nations. Africa has been the backbone
Oh.
of economic development nearly globally, but particularly in Europe.
Europe. Yep. And
So,
America. Don't forget America.
yeah,
Don't let
forgive
America
me,
get away
forgive
with
me.
that. They
You're right.
parasites.
You're right. Forgive me. You're right. You're absolutely right. So if China, if India,
Yep.
if South Korea, who was the other one I mentioned?
So
China
India, China, South Korea, and Singapore.
and Singapore, if they can do it with all of the resources in Africa, all of the natural resources coming out of Africa, right? You've mentioned two nations that are responsible for countless levels of atrocities and injustices for the sake of economic empowerment, France and Britain. If their structures that they have in place are removed, right, and replaced with government officials who have a heart of the nations they represent, the shift, bro, has a potential to be so swift
It's gonna be devastating.
that it could be devastating.
You know what's
Absolutely.
funny? I heard this excuse from one of the colonial countries. He
Mm.
said, if we pay the debt that we owe Africans, which you admit to for slavery and apartheid and everything else, we're going to debt. And I was thinking in my head, like, and check this out. Somebody replied, why the hell do we care? You didn't care when you did what you did to us. I'm not showing you empathy when you had enough for me. And then they try to come at you with some God stuff. The guy's like, I'm not changing about this God nonsense. What it is we have a lot of these African leaders, which is important. The ones that get in there, they have self-esteem issues. They're only big men when they're in their own country, but they're little bitches, pardon my English, when they go to other people's country. You have to have the same dignity that you have in your country, carry that into these useless meetings that you go to and waste Nigerian African people's money. Why are you in these UAE meetings, or I saw this thing on TV the other day, and this is very important. I got to show it to you. And I can't stress how important this is. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of America, had this stupid meeting in Europe glorifying colonialism, saying that how America and Europe have always had this relationship and they spent the last 500 years growing the world. Growing the world? Are you serious? No, you didn't grow the world. You destroyed the world.
You
I'm
know,
going to say this clean and clear. I think people are starting to realize capitalism is the worst thing that ever happened to the world. It is the worst.
Western capitalism. Because listen,
Yeah.
we all want to capitalize.
Yes.
We have abilities, we have gifts, and capitalism is creating a market where everybody can succeed, and there's a
Yeah.
marketplace for what you have.
What you have.
But when your capitalism is is
It's
predatory,
predatory.
you know what I mean? You're not establishing a business
No.
relationship that's balanced. It's predatory.
It's predatorial. Man, let's see this video, man. Let me see if I can find this thing. Because I was trying
You
to.
know, and also, you know what you just said that Mark Rubio said. The thing I struggled with when it came to these conversations about Charlie
Oh, yeah, I
Kirk.
found it. Oh, yeah. Wait till I got to show you this.
Let me say this.
Oh,
The thing I struggled with when it came to conversations about Charlie Kirk and how he's been so endeared in America is I had to go and do some research on him as well before I cast an opinion about what people were saying about him. You know, obviously a tragic situation, anybody's life being taken, like, that's tragic.
yeah.
But the amount of people that um esteemed him highly and spoke so highly of him and associating him with the faith that I subscribe to, Christianity, and holding him in high esteem and saying he stood for this, that, and the other. So I need to go and do my research, because any
Yeah.
clips I've seen of him really challenge my faith in terms of what he was supposed to stand for. But
Yeah.
what you just said that Mark Rubio said, I heard Kirk say that too.
Yeah.
And then he came over here to one of the universities, I think it was Oxford, and they had him here doing a talk, and they asked him a question, and it was about the 18th century and Europeans and colonialization. And he said the same thing, bro. He said, great men of the Western world. Do you know what I'm saying? He said, great men
So
of the.
Leopold is a great man who murdered over 13 million Congolese. No,
Bro, I struggled to listen to him talk, but he was so confident and brash in the way that he said
because these
that.
people have no empathy for their sins.
And I was
They,
just
they
like,
see people as stepping stones to get somewhere. Now look, let me play you what I was talking about. This is
go
gonna
for
trip
it.
you out. Watch this. This is a guy I listen to. His name is Official Survivor in Africa.
It's missionaries.
Check this out. Check this out.
Soldiers. It's explorers pouring out from its shores to cross
Let me see if
oceans,
I can
settle new continents, build
Marco
vast
Rubio.
empires extending out across the globe. But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting. Europe was in ruins. Half of it lived behind an iron curtain, and the rest looked like it would soon follow. The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions and by anti-colonial uprisings that would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle.
Look at your face. That's all it needs to be said.
In the years to come.
Look at your face.
Let it run.
Then
now, let me come back. Listen, look at your face when I was playing this video.
Listen, I need that link. Send me that link, please.
I'm gonna send you that link. This is the most despicable. You know what's even more embarrassing? What they did was this, and most people aren't paying attention to this part. They took a man who's Hispanic descent and let him make the statement instead of a white man. How cowardice is that? This is what these colonialists have been doing since forever.
You know
Let
what this
somebody
is
do their
called?
dirty work. Say what?
You know what this is called?
What's this called?
It's called puppeteering.
Yes, this man is a coward. He
called
has no honor.
puppeteering.
He's
It's when
puppeteering.
you put your hand into the puppet and you let the puppet talk for you.
Yep. That's exactly what he's doing. He has no backbone. There's a woman in England right now. You probably heard of her. She's in Parliament. Kemi something. Kemi, whatever her name is. She's a Aunt Sally of the highest order. She's a sellout to the next degree, to a degree beyond comprehension. And these are the things that happened to me when I came back last year. Brother, I gotta tell you, I'm not watching sports shows anymore. I'm not watching American news anymore. Bro, I can't even watch American television shows anymore.
Let me tell you something.
Especially wants to do with like politics, where they always make America look like the hero. Look, let me be frank. Let me take my stance on this. Yeah. A lot of things are happening now, especially with Israel. It's made to realize that the Axis powers in the 40s were liars. We're starting to see what they really was doing. They're liars. So propaganda of making whatever Hitler was doing was a lie. They actually were the bad guys. They were, because look at Germany today. What do they have? They have a mixed population. They have you like over here, right, where you have white people, then you have different ways they live. But Boris Cujo, I got to send you the Boris Cujo link too. You got to watch that one too. He was explaining to me that the racism over there is different because everybody's in the same space. You're not living here and I'm living here. No, everybody lives in the same space. It's just that some engage in the racism. Whereas in America, you've got white people living over here, segregated neighborhoods. You see, like the problem is that when you have crooked leaders, whether it's Ghana, Algeria, Kenya, Nigeria, Botswana, whatever country that isn't Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, when you have that, you have a problem. Now look, there's an upside though that I just learned this week, and I got to show you this video. 3 other countries are probably going to join the Sahel: Togo, Guinea, and Chad. Chad doesn't surprise me because Chad has already been moving towards them cats anyway. Because the president of Chad, I can't remember his name, but I like his style. I really like that brother's style. He ain't playing. When the U.S. said we're not gonna have any these countries aren't gonna get visas, he said, "Oh, really? Okay. America's a ban from Chad too. Don't step in here. You done." And he was specific. White people are banned from Chad. Don't step over here. You ain't welcome. You know what I'm saying? And so what you have is reciprocation. I think nothing is more powerful than letting a bully know you can't bully me. This is why America has to take a different approach towards the Sahel states. America now just signed it. Go ahead. I know you want to get something off your
I'm digging T.I. right now, but go on.
Oh, okay.
Going back.
So what I'm saying is they're reciprocating, coming at them in a different way now. Now it's like we can't manipulate. Now it's like, okay, we have to respect your sovereignty because you have to. You see, and I mean this in every way. Africa must get nuclear ready. Not just nuclear ready, but nuclear arms in their backyard ready to go. If you want, and this is frankly frank, if you want a Caucasian person of European descent to behave, have something nuke for their ass. They will be on their best behavior. Why is it that they don't go fuck with China? Because they got nuke ready. North Korea, they got nuke ready. South Korea, they can push around because they ain't got shit. Because they pretend to be their ally. Because they're just using them against North Korea. Russia, go ahead and try them fools right there. Pakistan, go ahead and try them fools right there. India got nuclear weapons. You must develop your own technology. We've talked about this before. Sovereignty in every way. Food, technology, industrialization, all of it must be built within the structure of Africa. And then African nations, and I say nations, not countries, because we were United States of Africa before the 1884 Berlin Conference, when the bastard Leopold divided our continents and fed themselves and parasitically lived off of us. You see what I'm saying? So we have to get back to that point where we are, these leaders, these colonial system structures that are built there must crumble, including your education, what you wear to school. There's no reason why African students should be wearing English attire. Why are you not wearing African wear? What is wrong with you people? Are you stupid? Even now, like, you know what I love about Burkina Faso? Captain Ibrahim Traore made sure that the clothing that the kids wear to school is African. But second of all, guess where it's made? In Burkina Faso. Made by Burkina Bay people. That is called dignity and pride. See, I think the problem is this, and I've said this before earlier doing the thing. We must flush out the older generation so that a new generation coming, especially Generation Alpha, they must be loyal to the country, not to their party. I'm going to say that again. Loyal to the country, not their party. I could care less if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I must be loyal to the country. That is what's going to be beneficial to Africa. So if you want to break a colonial system, you have to have people that are going to get into a position of leadership that are sovereign to the country, not sovereign to their pockets. Like Macron, watching him shake hands with William Ruto of Kenya. That guy is just a spineless coward.
Let me throw this at you. The rigid, often harsh structure of Kenyan boarding school
Oh
often
Lord.
mirrors the disciplinary and controlling environment of colonial detention centers and institutions.
Oh heck no.
The use of English as the official language and the privileging of Western style education continues to promote a colonialization of the self,
Yep.
where indigenous knowledge systems are marginalized.
That means your language hasn't been learned. Culture hasn't been learned.
And you're deleting, you're expunging, you're whitewashing a nation of its identity.
You're Eurolizing. You, as you said, whitewashing. So let's just call it
You
whitewashing. Whether it's from Europe, whether it's from America, it's still whitewashing. Where's your dignity? Where's your pride? Look, remember what I said again in the beginning. I've been saying this. Kenya is a pariah. I used to think they were stable, but they are traitors. They cannot help
mm,
themselves. Like Nigeria, we know Nigerians are greedy. Ghanaians, greedy. But Kenyans, well, you're greedy, but you're dishonorable. You have no loyalty
mm,
to your country. You have no
mm,
loyalty to Africa. They're
mm,
always doing this thing where they want to make themselves look so important to white people. Like right now, as we're
mm,
speaking, why is the Kenyan military force in Haiti fighting Haitians who are fighting white people with oppression? You're fighting your own brothers and sisters to help white people. So you can join the National Security Council. They can put you on a seat so you can look important to some white guy. Where's your dignity? Like these people, I know you've been to Kenya before. I don't understand the mentality of these people. And one of the Kenyan, at least I listen to a lot of this called Alpha House. And one of the Kenyans was saying, Kenya, we better be careful because we are going to be pariahs to the rest of Africa. If we don't
mm,
watch ourselves, the rest of Africa is going to descend on us. And they'll be like, you are
mm,
treacherous. Sorry, you know what? You got no
mm,
honor. And I'm
mm.
not blaming the citizens of Kenya because it's probably not them.
Yeah.
But when your
Yeah. Well, we
directors,
got to do that. We got to
say
do
what?
that because it's not, because what has happened, bro, is that a lot of these nations you travel to, you start to realize that the average citizen has far less say in what happens in the country
Yes,
because the legal systems, the government systems
yes.
are so colonized and tied up and centralized that the citizens don't really have say. I
It,
mean, dude, in America, we've had issues and questioned at times the voting process and
yep.
what's happening with that. You know, compared to these African nations, it's nothing like the level of corruption that a lot of these African nations is facing when it comes to voters' rights and getting in the person into office who you expect to be in office, and even beyond that, the what do you call it? Shoot's the word that I'm looking for, bro. The accountability is the word I'm looking for. When these people campaign on these principles and promises, but then they get into office and there's no accountability. You know what I'm saying? The things that they promise is not happening. Like the changing of the wages, the industrialization they talk about, it's not happening, bro. So we do have to make the distinction, and you said this long ago, quite a few weeks ago. We have to make the distinction between the government and the people, because a lot of
Yep.
times the people are suffering at the hands of corrupt government.
You know, it's funny you say that. Even okay, let's take a colonial country for example. Whether it's France or America itself, even those citizens are against what they're doing. And so
Yeah,
now they're like,
yeah,
we didn't ask for that. Why are you stealing those people's stuff? Like as I worked the other day, and some people from Tahiti, which is a colony of France, I was like, are y'all French? They're like, yeah. But the way French people usually approach you is very arrogant and racist like. But these people were like, it wasn't that way. They were like, I know I can tell you were French. I told them that. And I said, yeah, I'm Nigerian. And they were smiling. They were like, wow, you're African. That's so cool. And then they said, like, it's one of the colonial countries where they came from. But one of them was actually, he looked like he was from Korea, but he lived in France.
mm,
So maybe he's grown up all day his whole life. And then the other girl, she looked like she was a white girl, but she wasn't completely white. And so I was looking
yeah,
at her like, And the energy they usually give off in France is really toxic. But these people weren't giving that kind of energy. It was more like these are the ones that are allies in their country, but they have no power. And that's these corrupt governments. You have to understand these governments. Let's take Macron, for example. He's a corrupt individual who's only after one thing. How can I keep my power and make it look as if I'm making France look good? You look at currency. France right now, it's remember what I was saying in the beginning? No matter what you do, this is inescapable. It's not that Europe can stop what's coming, because it's coming. It's how bad of a fall are you gonna have? Like just recently, maybe about 2 weeks ago, a Canadian company had to keep begging Mali, and we're gonna go to court and sue you in world court. And Mali was like, we don't give a damn about world court. We own this gold on this land. If you wanna do anything on it, you don't own nothing. You do what we tell you, or we'll take your permit away. So guess what Mali did? They gave them a 10-year permit, but then they also told them, if we wake up tomorrow morning, you get on our nerves, that permit is terminated. So y'all better not get out of pocket. And guess what else is beautiful about that? The U.S. can't come in militarily. You know why? Because they got that heat for your ass if you get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a call for Mali to be like, yo, Niger, Burkina Faso, it's going down. Sahel states, 100,000 soldiers. Let's do this thing. They don't want that smoke. Think about this. Eurocentrism or whiteness has never beaten you by itself. It has always employed internal strife to defeat you. Look at what's happening right now in Iran. Okay, guess what they just did? They've gotten Pakistan to come and fight in Iran. So now, when the U.S. gets there, their work is lighter. Maduro in Venezuela, they paid his own cabinet money so they can betray him. That woman in office right now in Venezuela is a disgrace. Her father was one of the greatest socialist human beings to ever live. She has betrayed her father's memory because I know she took money so they can drill oil in your country, because Venezuela's got the largest oil reserve in the world. How is that oil going to serve the Venezuelan people? Not at all. You're going to see what's happening. You know what Libya's at? You know what Libya is right now? Libya was an oasis when Gaddafi was alive.
Oh, bro, listen, that's
Gaddafi's fall was a major one in our history,
and they just
killed his son.
Just hit his son.
Yes, because they didn't want to say. And guess who's responsible for this? And I got no problem saying this: Israel, with their filthy selves. People are starting to see Israel for what they really are. They're death dealers. They're cowards that hide behind. Think about this, brother. You get moved somewhere the people are living, which is the Palestinians. You come and just get dropped in their land, and you tell them you have to scatter because we're gonna live right here. Think about that, Kimba. Imagine your house, right? Your backyard. Your neighbor comes and says, you know what, Kimba? I'm taking your backyard because it's big enough for me to live. I'm gonna live in there. And you can go still live in the front house. How you gonna take that? That's the best analogy I can give you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know it's long-winded my answer, but some of the problems with it, and this is leadership betrayals. And that's where that comes from. When you have leaders that aren't loyal, that aren't patriotic, but they're more concerned with how their bank accounts. Look about this. All the money moving to Switzerland. You know Elon Musk? Tesla. Now, you know Elon Musk's father, right? He inherited money from his father. But guess where his father got the money from? He stole it from South Africa.
Wow.
And so Elon Musk talking about, oh, I started with little money. No, you got money like God knows how much that your father stole from South Africa. You see what I'm saying? And then you've got the nerve to say, oh, I'm not racist. You know, white people are getting genocide. No, white people are not getting genocide in Africa. Nah. The ANC, the African National Congress, is the most corrupt political company in Africa. They have no honor. They have betrayed Africa at every turn. And look, I got no problem saying this. That is Mandela's party. He was there when they were betraying. And I'm going to keep saying this. This is why I'm a big fan of Julius Malema from South Africa. Why did you waste 27 years in jail only to betray your people? Let the war come. If a war's going to come, let it come, but at least you'll have freedom and sovereignty. Instead, you're talking about we don't want a bloodshed. And then you let a bunch of white people get in front of Africans saying, oh, we're sorry for apartheid. Apology? Bro, the greatest apology is independence. What kind of apology is that? That's not an apology. People in Soweto, I know you've heard of Soweto in South Africa. Bro, you want to see a slum. Remember that one we were talking about in Kenya and Nigeria?
Yeah,
that's nothing compared to that. Nothing. Not to mention the violent homicidal rate that South Africa has. Brother, 3 out of 10 South Africans get killed.
Wow.
37 a month. Just dropping. And they confine that construction to Soweto so that people can keep killing themselves. AIDS, let me be frank about this. AIDS was created by white South Africans to take out black South Africans in South Africa. How did the AIDS get there? You put it there. Ebola, coronavirus. These aren't accidents. We have to start understanding these structures. They are meant to take what we have. They are. Look at Bill Gates. The only thing that's slowing him down is the Epstein files now, because he was trying to humanize Africa through these fake projects, basically keeping us from multiplying as human beings. What's happening right now in Europe? They're getting old as hell. What's happening in Africa? We're young as hell. The average age is 19. Now, if you have 19-year-olds going against 47-year-olds, who do you think is going to win eventually? So you got Bill Gates trying to desensitize us. And now, the only thing that shamed this corrupt piece of trash is the fact that people whose Epstein files are actually out now. When I say a corrupt human being, that Bill Gates guy is a piece of trash. Not only was he unfaithful to his wife, but the atrocities he was carrying out in different countries. He was literally the government's arm to destroy other African countries. This man, people really don't understand. You know what Elon Musk is doing? He's trying to use the U.S. government to enrich himself. Excuse me. That is the ultimate goal. How can I get richer than what I am? Oh, I know. I'm just going to use the U.S. government to do it. I may not like Trump, but you know what? I can use him to get government contracts. Think about this. I heard somebody trying to make a comparison to Mansa Musa. How you going to compare a person who was giving countries loans to a guy who receives loans? He receives government contracts. You get what I'm saying? So that to me is like, I know it's long-winded, but I need to get that off my chest. We're not changing anything in Africa until we change leadership. And that's an important part of today's topic. The leadership, go ahead.
And you know, the leadership we speak of is not always the presidents.
No.
You know, because what tends to happen, what we've been seeing on a reoccurring basis is that in some nations, I mean, Kwame Nkrumah is a great example.
Exactly.
Jomo Kenyatta in Kenya is a great example. You know, these guys, they get into office, and it's wild because it's like you always got this external force watching the politics play out, making plans of how they will interfere with what is happening.
Constantly,
you know what I'm saying?
Every day.
It's like they're watching it. It's like they're watching it unfold. And so,
yes, sir.
In spite of having new leadership in terms of the top executive offices,
yes, sir,
progress is still stifled because you got these external forces watching and strategically planning how they could get a mole in the system, get a plant in the system.
Yes, sir.
And we said this last week, bro. You mentioned Malcolm, you mentioned Martin, you know, whose lives were taken at the hands of
our own people.
You know what I mean? You mentioned these folks, man. So it's the
external interference, there's got to be a point where, okay, Kimba is the president of Kenya, and I'm the president of Nigeria. There's got to be a point where there's such a trust that, let's say, for example, when they come to you and they come at you with the bull jive, the minute that meeting's done, you're going to get on the phone. Hey, Adewale, dog, these guys are on some trifling type shit. Bottom line is we need to be united, and I'm going to tell them to go bleep themselves. And when they come meet you, you tell them to go bleep themselves. And not only that, but you compare notes. But what a lot of African countries do is this. While you're looking bad, let me look good. No. If one African country is looking bad, we all look bad.
Especially depending on who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And the people you're dealing with got a history. If they got a history of atrocity and coming together to destroy places or to steal, you know, I mean, it's basically, bro, it's pirating, it's robbery,
it's piracy. Look at this. I'm gonna name 5 countries for you, and these are all places America has visited: Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Kuwait, and Vietnam. Except for Vietnam, the other 4 are in a train wreck.
Mm. Mm.
France was also
Still.
in Vietnam. You ain't gonna believe when I tell you this, but France till today is getting over $500 billion in revenue from 14 colonial places because of the pact that they signed. Why are you honoring anything with France? France doesn't deserve any honor. You don't have to
That's
honor
that
nothing you sign with them.
That's that record deal we was talking about.
Yeah,
We've
that's
been
that
talking
record
about.
deal. That's that what I call that thing? Payday loan. Except it's in reverse. You're paying them for colonizing you. How dare you sign such a pact? No.
Well, bro, law is dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
Law is dangerous. And the reason it's dangerous is because to the average person, it's a foreign language.
Yep.
To the average person, legal documents and law is
Dangerous.
is a foreign language, and it's even more dangerous when you have leaders in place
Yep, that are corrupt.
that are not there for the sake of the people.
Nope.
You know, it's so dangerous, bro.
You got these fake patriots. Sorry, I'm sweating. This place, I was drinking green tea. And when you drink green tea, it may warm up your body, boy, but it'll make you sweat like crazy.
That's good though.
It's good for
Detox,
you.
bro. Detox.
Yes, yes. I mean, keep on what you're saying. I mean, it's just, man, like Macron, that guy is literally trying to become like Napoleon Bonaparte or Lagrange or whatever that colonized Africa. Bro, you're not going to be him. Because in spite of all the atrocities, which brings us to our 5th point, lesson learned. Africans are now starting to see the light. I call it the spear of light. It's like my current project I'm working on in school right now. It's called Awaija, which means
We
the
got to
hand
come
of
back
light.
to that. We got to come back to that. But go ahead.
Yeah. And what's happening now is that light is starting to, like when something was dark all the time, and then you take a point and start poking holes in it. And the more holes you poke in it, the light starts to come through it more and more. That is what's happening right now. The younger generation say, you know what? Tell you what. We're giving you this older generation ultimatum. Either do your job or we're going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. Bro, and I can speak on this because you're going to take a trip to Nigeria. You're going to see what I mean. There is a new hustle. And that hustle is called, we don't like imperialism. We ain't having it. When you see a Caucasian in Africa, you should be worried. There are only 2 things they could be. Either they're traveling for visiting or they're NGO. And NGOs always ruin countries. They're fake individuals pretending to come and do work. Like, we're going to build you water spouts. We're going to develop your road. You're not going to do nothing. Brother, when I tell you there's over 450 NGOs in Nigeria alone, everybody claiming to be an organization. You're not no organization. Even that Beast, what's that guy on YouTube? Beast, Mr. Beast. That dude got an NGO. I don't know if I trust his NGO. When you told me he does work in Africa, I was like, you're not doing no work. You're using you to infiltrate the place. We as Africans must come to this honest realization. It's like what I said in my thesis for my project, right? At the gallery that I'm going to tomorrow. I said, in fact, give me a second, brother. Let me actually read it to you. Let me find it for you. Because this is a very interesting statement, what I wrote. Let me find it for you. Give me a second. I know I put it somewhere. I love my new. Let me see. Okay, so all right, it says here, artist statement. This art piece is an understanding of what colonialism and theft of resources has done to Africa. As a Nigerian descendant and a prideful African, I have an inside perspective of how European countries, Arab countries, have abused and marginalized Africans to enrich their countries. This toxic relationship between Africa and many countries has always been more parasitic than beneficial. Africa is not a third world nation because other nations feed off it. Africa is a first world nation because its resources feed other nations. Africa can exist without other nations, but other nations cannot exist without Africa. Neocolonialism is alive and well and must be brought to an end. Pan-Africanism is the only cure. Africans awakened and Africans deciding to do what's right for Africa. Africa must come to grips with the past, enrich the present, and protect the future. That was my statement for my art show.
It's so powerful, it's so relevant, and it is so solutionary. I'm going to
Yes,
use
sir.
that term.
Yes,
It's so
that is a
solutionary.
beautiful word. And this video I'm going to show you is what brought it to my what I've interjected into the show. Let me see if I can play the video for you. It's me working on the project. Look, I'm going to play it for you. Yeah. This is me constructing the project. Right, okay, so give me a second. Let me flip the camera around so you can see.
Yeah.
All right, so you should be able to see now. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
Here you go. All right, y'all. How y'all doing? For historical context, I'm finally done with it. The Award.T project. It's quite the achievement, man, to have done this, to have accomplished this, to have this beautiful piece of art be created using wood, which I love to do. But I'm telling the story of Africa, from what it is to the history to the colonization that is taken from Africa. But as Pan-Africanism will take it back. That's why Pan-Africanism will take it back. So Africa Award.T project, let me bring it in close so y'all can see it. I want y'all to see how cool this thing is, man. Look how cool this is. I could care less about the rest of the colonies that are attached to it, but look how cool this thing is. So, yo, that's the Africa project, man. So definitely finally done with it. I'm proud of it. I just want y'all to see it. It's something to be proud of, man. You know what I mean? This is a great accomplishment. This is history to make it right here. So I'm proud of it. I'm going to continue to do my thing. And no, Donald Trump, I don't give a fuck how many museums you close. You can't stop Africans telling the history of slavery. You like
You say you can how many what he closes?
I don't care how many museums he closes. He tries to close all the African American museums. I said, I don't give a damn. You can go kick rocks. You know, that project, Award.T, you see those lines that are coming through Africa?
Listen, I saw I don't know where you posted this, but I've seen this piece of work up close because somewhere you posted, maybe it was on your site, but the final product, because when I saw it before, you had these hands on it.
Oh, that's a different one. That's two different projects.
But this one, I think I prefer it. I think I prefer this one because I love the symbolism in the parasitic colonies hanging from the continent. I think that speaks volumes. Like, it deserves to be sitting in the museum because on its own, it speaks very loudly for people to see.
I think people don't understand. There's this thing, I call it the Award series.
Mm-hmm.
And so that other one with the hands is actually called Owaye. What that one symbolizes that is going to take all Africans from the diaspora, wherever we're at, to come together and heal her. So if your hand is here, my hand is here, somebody's hand is here, somebody's hand is here. They're tied. See, it's not only, we don't even, remember what I said in the statement. Africa must come to grips with the past, which is accepting colonialism. It happened. There's nothing we can do about it. Slavery, there's nothing we can do about it. Now, enrich the future, enrich the present, excuse me. That means that we need to stop thinking in the terms of slavery. We need to get our self-esteem, our dignity, put those things in motion so we can protect the future. Because it's easy to have a future if you do these things in the present. It's like I told a coworker today, and this lets me know I'm doing the right thing. This brother said to me, he was a Hispanic brother, he said, man, Adewale, you're so inspirational. Bro, I said, what you mean, man? He said, bro, man, you be getting after it, man. He's like, so how many hours did you sleep this time? I said, brother, I ain't gonna lie to you, 3.5. It was less than the usual 4, so I'm feeling it. But he said, bro, how you got the juice, man? I mean, bro, you just getting after it. And I said, I'm driven because I want to make a difference. I need to make a difference. This gift, and I was saying this in my last podcast, when I was talking about the history of my family bloodline, which is the podcast, Sanusi Vision Art Life podcast, episode number 242. Sanusi, that's the name of the episode. I don't need to go look for greatness outside my family bloodline. I literally have it in my bloodline. My great-great-grandfather, Sanusi, who I've told you about multiple times, mopped the floor with the Portuguese and the sorry-ass French. So we as Agbokes don't have no respect for white people. We don't, they ain't shit to us, pardon my English. They ain't nothing but a Kit Kat break. You know what I'm saying? And so when I stepped on my grandfather's tomb last year, and I must admit, brother, I have been different since I stepped on that tomb. Something happened to me. It's like a wave of power just getting me like, all right. It's like, I can't explain this to you. Okay, I feel like this because I believe in the spirituality. My grandfather said, son, I'm going to give you all these gifts. The trade is you need to bring your ass home and fix all this shit. That is the trade. I don't arrogantly believe that I can do all these things all on my own. No, somebody gave me all these gifts so that I could do something with it. This is the gifts you're gonna get, but you have to do this with it, right? And a selfish person would say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Let me just do what's for me." You know, my bloodline, my history. My grandfather was like, if he could sacrifice, you have to understand something. How great of a man do you have to be for an entire city to give you a name? An entire city, bro. An entire city said, your name is no longer Abubakar. Your new name is going to be Agoke, which means Phoenix. That means you will always rise to defend the people. Bro, that's if it don't get more, I don't know what gets more energetic about that. Like, I don't need to go look at a Malcolm X poster or a Tupac poster or Fela Kuti. And you know how much I love those guys. Bro, my bloodline alone is like enough for that. Bro, I'm starting to realize what I am. Like, I'm really come from a badass bloodline. We some bad mofos. You know what I'm saying? Both on my mother's side and my grandfather's side, which led to the third project, which is called Awaija, which means I'm building this spear and a shield. And the spear is to symbolize all of Africa. How it's split into two parts. What happens is it comes together, it screws into each other, and you got the shield. Oh, bro, this is going to be, this one right here is going to have Africa losing it. Like, already all my classmates are already tripping about the project already. They're like, oh, this is going to be your best one yet. I said, nah, man, this is just one of them because the goal is to take what I can do. They can't scare me with death, bro. That's not going to work. That's just not going to work. You know, what they usually do is they scare you, we're going to kill your family or whatever they're going to come up with. You are always going to die. But I got a question. Are you always going to live? Because there's a difference between existence and living. There's a big difference. Malcolm X, he lived. Martin Luther King, he lived. Tupac, he lived. Fela Kuti, King Menekete II lived. Kwame Nkrumah, whoever, all these Queen Napongo, all these other great legends. But they didn't exist. They knew there's this, you have to get past yourself. Look past the person in the mirror, not be selfish. Wake up in the morning, you're a married man, you have 2 kids, you have your wife, you have 4 mouths to feed. And all 4 mouths got to be sufficiently fed. Because if you feed one person more, you're not doing your job. Simultaneously, all those others in the family too have to carry their weight. So whether it's the kids doing their chores or your wife being supportive and you being supportive of her, vice versa, and things of that nature. That's what's missing, man. Those are our lessons right there. How many other lessons can you get?
It's real.
And we as Africans, look, let me be frank about this. We have to come to grips with what's happened, and we have to stop being polite to each other. When a country F's up, we need to tell them, yo, y'all are fucking up. Y'all are making us look bad. This whole division, and this is one thing we as African Americans of all the African diaspora needs to stop doing. Stop saying when one person is doing something else, well, it's not me doing it. No, it's a representation of all of us. Indirectly or directly.
Accountability.
Because you're not doing the right thing. You're not being honorable.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a few bad apples, but we also know that the Western media is good for putting out only the bad apples. They don't talk about inventors. They don't talk about guys like me and you. They don't talk about African American men like yourself, who's a great father, who's there, who's present. The most important thing a person can be, a father can be, and Boris Kujo said this yesterday. He said, it's not the millions you have in your bank account, it's your presence. Just be there. Go to soccer practice. Go to the recital. Ask them how their homework was. How many friends do they got? What's your favorite cartoon? What do you want to do with yourself today? You know, it's like those are the things, man. So go ahead, brother. It's just.
I want to play the clip. This is Boris Kojo, 154. 154. Africa is the platform. I plugged in last night. I'm gonna be rinsing this now from now on.
You gotta subscribe, brother.
That channel have a listen to this.
Can you flip your? Well, I guess you could flip your camera for the people to see it.
Well, then I have to move my thing. Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just let us hear it.
All right.
Hearing it is good
All right.
enough.
All right, let me hold on. What's going on here? 2 seconds, brother.
Technical difficulties sometimes, brother. It be happening, man.
Yeah.
It be happening.
$500 billion
Yeah, they some corrupt individuals.
billion dollars a year out of Africa right now, out of their 14 ex-colonies, because they made them sign the pact of the continuation of colonization back in the late 50s. And they had no choice but to sign.
This is
And wait,
France.
and what does that look like? Because that means, so whenever these 14 countries that are part of that, like when they have goods that they want to export, they can't, because
Yes, they can, but they have to export them to France.
they have to export them to
And then have to buy back. They have to buy back the products.
with
They export the
Yeah.
natural resources,
Yeah.
the raw materials,
Yeah.
and then they have to buy back the products from France
Oh my
with
God.
money.
with their money. Now, France also forces them to spend to give up to 85% of their GDP to France.
Man.
Up to 85%.
Man.
Right? They force them to give them French companies the first right of refusal for every public or private contract.
Man.
Right?
So if they say, hey, we got
So-
some cocoa beans here, we want to sell it to America, they
No economic sovereignty,
Wow.
no food sovereignty, no
Nope.
power sovereignty, right? Because they're forced, again, to export their resources to France and then buy back the products to survive. That's what's going on right now.
And this
And
is
then
why the
France-
are kicking them some.
And exactly. And that's why, and France is taking the 500 billion and they invested in the stock market in France to the tune of trillions of dollars. Africa's not getting that. France
Heck
is
no.
keeping that. And if somebody speaks up, they turn off the faucet of the currency, because France is printing the currency for those 14
Yes,
countries.
sir.
That's why now you have people like President like
Burkina Faso,
Burkina Faso.
What's the other?
Mali,
Niger, and
Mali, Niger.
I'm-
Exactly.
I'm glad this is happening. It's
Who
real.
are getting together
Yes.
and they're kicking out France, because what happened before, if a country said no, France would pour concrete in
Yep.
their sewage system, in their water supply. They would destroy the schools and the hospitals before they leave, right? Then they would come in with mercenaries,
Yeah.
and
That
they
would
would
sell
take
them.
they would take people out. Lumumba,
Yep.
Thomas Sankara,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now. So colonization is not over.
154.
Yes, sir.
Bro, you don't often, if ever, hear me use expletives.
Go ahead. Get it in.
But as I listen to this, brother, it sickens me, bro.
It's disgusting.
It sickens me, bro. This is the fight, bro. It's not
That's the
how
real
many.
fight.
It's not how many bricks of white you sold. It's not how many Bentleys you could buy. How many loose women you can have on your arms.
Yep.
How many platinum plaques you can get from your music. This is the fight here, bro. This is the fight, bro.
Yep.
You know, my son started watching for the first time, he started watching Harry Potter
Yeah.
2 days ago. And recently I've tried to watch some shows because I love films. I love TV.
Yeah.
But I've struggled out of Wale. My wife is European, you know this.
Yes. Yes.
And I love her, I appreciate her.
Yeah.
I watch these television shows, bro, and I can't watch anymore.
Because the pain is too much. It's a
I
lot.
watch these shows and I have my children sitting there.
Yep.
97% of these shows are European, or 97% European.
Yes.
And I can't watch it anymore.
No.
We need Sanusi vision.
Thank you.
We need Sanusi
I'm trying, man.
vision. We need Sanusi vision. And for anybody out there that's watching this, that hears this, if you are a writer, a creative that functions in the film and animation industry, we need you.
Yep.
We need you. We need representation. I mentioned this show a couple
Bad.
of times. Last time I said my dad is a bounty hunter. It's one of the
Yep.
best things I've seen since I've been alive.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
95, it's 95% African.
That's
It's
beautiful.
it's on Netflix right now. And I know that it was inspired by Black Panther because I can see the correlation
Yeah.
where they talk about the vibranium and there's these other stones in this
Right.
alien world where these
Right.
Africans Omerados, they call have a look at it when you
Yeah,
get a chance, bro.
yeah.
You
I've seen it. I've
uh,
watched it. I've watched that already. That's already been
bro,
done, kid. Shoot, did that last year.
bro is the best. Yeah, because y'all got it first. Y'all got it over there first.
Yeah,
We got it late on this side.
yeah.
Um,
We get the British show second.
yeah,
Kind of like when y'all have shows, we get it second later on a year, maybe a few months
absolutely.
down the ways, but we get it later.
So I say all that to say though, bro, Sanusi vision is needed. It's needed, man. So we're gonna push forward, man. Let's wrap this up because you gotta go. You gotta get some rest. I gotta go and do some family things. But
Yeah.
I think I wanna wrap up by saying this. I did a visit to a school yesterday, and the
Yeah.
theme of the theme of the visit was reading is rebellion.
Huh.
The librarian had me in, and her theme for the day was reading is rebellion.
Yeah.
And I'm going to echo that by saying revelation is rebellion.
Yep.
This show is about revelation.
Wake up, man.
It's about revelation. It's about rebellion. It's about empowerment. And that word rebel has been demonized.
And toxified.
Because when people think of rebels, they think of people who don't go along with what is supposedly right. But as we look on history and we look at present day and the results of historical actions, we realize that the rebels are the people who are going to set the record straight.
Yes, sir.
So I'm happy to be amongst those rebels today. I'm happy to be with another rebel, Adewale Eboke, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this inspiration, this time, man. Your project is outstanding. I trust that tomorrow that you will blow the roof off of the museum or with your exhibit, and that you will go from strength to strength in all your efforts and your creativity.
Man, brother, I wish you this likewise the same. I think what I'm starting to see is that I think this show offers us a release of the truth. And I can tell with you, you always take it so personal. Because I can see the weight. Because what happens to you is that the thing that we're seeing becomes weighted. And there's a point where you have to realize that what are you going to do with the weight? And we're doing something with the weight. You know, I wish you the greatest success. I wish you the independence of your success. And when I say independence, I mean that to do it in a way that gives you joy. Not in the way you feel like you're owned. Not in the way you feel like you're an asset to somebody. All those things are little intricacies that matter. You see, like, this show for me, right now, nobody showed up here. I don't care. I don't make these shows for views. That's not why I do this. I do this because this needs to be done. Because whether somebody watches now or 5 years from now, eventually that zero is going to become 100,000. So all we need to do is just keep creating great content. I'm not doing this for money. I already told God every morning when I wake up, I already know what God's plans are for me this year. And it's ironic. We had a lady come to our store yesterday at my job. She bought a bunch of computers. I sold her like 12 computers. And she come to find out she's a woman who works with juvenile kids that get put in the system, and then they come out and they get a second chance. So whenever these kids get out second chance, once they make it, they go back and become teachers to the program. So guess what I did? I took a card. I said, ma'am, I'm an animation artist. And I emailed her. Immediately, she bought the computer. 1 hour later, she gave me a card. I emailed her just to let her know I wasn't playing. She's like, she probably was shocked, like, wow, this email already? I said, yeah. I said, I want to be able to give you my old drawings because I want these kids to have something to look at and say, you know what? I can do something. I can be something like this. I used to be afraid. Let me say this, brother. I used to be afraid to spread my art out because I always thought somebody was going to steal it. Bro, I don't have time for that no more. My greatness is my greatness no matter what. If I've done 100% of something to sell, I guarantee you at least 99% are going to buy it. The 1% that choose to steal it, that's their business. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't keep you that fear box. Remember, I always talk about the fear box. Yeah. That box has got to go.
Yeah.
You that thing keeps you from doing anything. So guess what? I already emailed her back again. We was transcribing this today. I'm gonna go look for all my drawings, the posters that I don't need no more, including some of the comics, and get it to her and tell her, look, come to the store on so date so I can give it to you. And every month, I'm just gonna keep emptying out the drawing pad till it gets lighter. The ones that I don't need, let somebody who needs to be inspired have it on their wall. Let them also see that. And she said to me in the email, you are truly making a difference. Because I put my website in the email, I put all my social medias. She was probably blown away by what she was seeing.
Yeah.
She was like, wow. Yeah. And brother, and it's like what the guy said to me this afternoon, one of my coworkers, Adewale, you are fucking inspiring. And I had to humbly take that in.
Yeah.
I was like, Eddie, what you mean, man? It's like, bro, you got like 5 jobs. And you come in here, can't nobody see you in this store. Then you got your own things you're doing. You got school, you got social media, you got your business. Bro, you are so inspirational. I said, brother, you have to sever ties with family members, with individuals who don't want you to move forward.
Yeah.
Your circle isn't big, it's small. And that's when you start to see success. You know what I'm saying? And you got to want to do something that's going to change existence, change the way people are living. Because right now, as all over the world, we are all existing.
Yeah.
And I feel your pain when you say my wife is white. And I don't know how to look at things like that. You love your wife, but you see the atrocities that those who have her complexion have done. And I always say this to people. You have to separate the person because she ain't nothing like those motherfuckers. Pardon my English. I know you don't like to cuss, but I do. I don't care. I let it ride. I got another homeboy out here. He in the same boat you in. He's got a white wife. She's a nice lady. She's all that. But he's still a brother. And he speaks as such.
Oh, yeah.
And he lets her know, hey, girl, I'm still a brother. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think anybody who's in I call it a cultural diverse relationship because that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Let's not use an interracial relationship because to me, the word race is bullshit. It doesn't exist. A cultural relationship.
Multicultural
you come from this
relationship.
side, I come from this side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we come together, you guys have great kids. And those kids, y'all's duty is to show her the African side and her duty is to show her the European side, whatever side of that European side she thinks is good. Because a lot of people in Europe are not bad. A lot of them die too. These people that are imperialists, they could care less. If you get in the way of that money or thievery, they got to put you down. You know what I'm saying? So we have to orchestrate ourselves. And I think honestly I'm starting to see a lot of Caucasians, whites, European descendants. They're like, yeah, our time is up. What we need to do is figure out forgiveness. How can we get these Africans, these Asians, these Indians, these Hispanics to forgive us for all of our atrocities? Some of them is the way they do it is like, well, let me have a relationship with somebody who's Hispanic. Well, that's not solving the problem. That's just you wanting to test out other waters. No, a true apology is you coming to grips with what was done. Like my forefathers were some sorry mofos.
A lot of people,
to me is reparations, which is
a lot of people. There's a lot of ignorance in the world, bro. And when I say ignorance, I mean deep ignorance because there's a lot of surface knowledge, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
A lot of people don't have the depth of understanding of what's still happening. People have a surface knowledge of historical context, but they don't see the present results of the historical context. So it's surface knowledge, man. A lot of people are deeply ignorant because they're full of surface knowledge.
Yes, sir. I mean? And And surface knowledge is funny you say that because a lot of people are not. It's like voting. Let's just vote for this candidate because he did more commercials.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Trump. Let's vote for
Yeah.
Trump because he's more popular. He's
Yeah.
not like these other guys. Don't get me wrong. I think 97% of politicians are horse doo doo. They got no honor. But that's another time. But we touched on some heavy stuff today. And yo, I gotta give y'all this. My boy King Kimber, man. All these topics we're having, this man did all this. That man just sent me an email one day. I said, what is this? Man, this man done went and typed up the whole year of work that we're gonna do. So we don't come in here just random on someone. No, ain't no random around here. Nah. This thing is orchestrated by our writer, director, whatever you want to call them. And I think that what I love most about it is that my energy is unapologetic. Your energy is unapologetic because you can't be apologetic about what we're trying to do here. And we can't be focused on how many views or how many likes we're getting. We need to focus on how many impacts we're making. Yeah. And today was a great example of that. One thing I've taken from today specifically, never underestimate what you're doing because you never know how you're inspiring somebody. Today just made me realize, like, damn, I'm going to keep going. Yeah. Because I just had a coworker tell me I'm inspiring them. Man, and let me tell you something. Bro. This brother doesn't talk much at all. I can tell he's a keep to himself type of cat. Yeah. But whenever he sees me, he's like, hey, what's up, Adewale? He's like, he's got juice. Yeah. He's like, Adewale, you that dude. You give the juice, man. Once you walk in, I know we got juice. It's over. Whatever shit we was dealing with, that shit's just gonna be forgotten. Yeah. And so, you know, that thing that we're doing today, man, this thing we're doing, the universe is gonna pay us in the front one day. This video we just did today will have 100,000 views. Come on, these other things that we're not seeing right now, which are surface, as you said, surface stuff, that stuff's gonna take care of itself. So as always, y'all, first of all, we're gonna get up out of here. My boy's got a book. Yeah. So you make y'all know about that. Yeah, hold that thought. Show him some of your stuff. I'm gonna grab mine. Show him some of your stuff. I keep him busy. Y'all, he's gonna grab his amazing book. This book is Life-Changing Events, as I like to call it. You know, what we do over here at Sanusi Vision and I Am King Kimba is talk about things that make a difference in people's lives. So this is what we're doing. Check out the book, man. Look at that. Shades of Black. That thing is beautiful. Give him a rundown, man. Yeah, so this is a life story of a young man, a young boy growing up what'd you call it? Situationships, man. Situationship, man. That's the new word, baby. You got to situationships from young. Yeah. Yeah, so situationships and yeah, man, it's a story, man. It starts in Trenton, New Jersey, ends up in Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, and talks about the criminal justice system. It talks about the family institution, talks about relationships, talks about empowerment. It's the whole shebang, man. So man, that's beautiful. And what I know you said it many times, but in one word, what would you use to summarize? Well, not one word, but maybe a sentence. What would summarize the inspiration of this great book? Establishing your identity. Wow. Is the future. Establishing your identity is securing your future. Wow. That is a beautiful line. I think what's funny is we've indirectly done the same thing. I just did it with animation. Because you told a life story. Yeah. And this is gonna make you laugh, bro. It's only in recent months that I realized this thing we're holding in my hand is actually a message from my grandfather. I woke up one morning and I now understand what Carjacks for Assassins means. Yeah. I just thought it was something cool that I created. Yeah. And once again, I was before. In my arrogance, I thought, oh yeah, I created something cool. No, it's a message sent to me by my grandfather. Sanusi, this is what this is right here. This is what you're doing with this. It's a cartoon, but it's more than a cartoon. So don't be wasting time thinking it's just a cartoon. It's not just a cartoon. Carjacks for Assassins, this book right here in my hand, this is one of the most powerful creations ever in existence. This universe itself. It's a right now I'm actually working on a bio book And what the Bible book is the character profiles of these characters. So it's a 2026 release. I'm actually going to be getting it printed soon. It talks about each character, height, weight, where they're from. So now when you get that book, you can get this book. Because I got art show coming up next month. It's going to be cooking, man. WonderCon. I'm going in there guns blazing. Just everything all out assault. So this book right here, y'all, you got the front cover. You got the back cover. This is my first comic book ever, man. And then you got the inside. I'm not going to show you the rest because you want to support me, you need to go buy it. Just like Kimba's book, you need to go buy it. Us artists need support. We're supporting ourselves. Like, and I don't mind sharing this with Kimba. Yesterday, I got an email about a grant. I almost missed the cutoff date. So this grant is actually a possibility of I could actually get it. Actually qualify for everything it wanted. So sometimes not quitting is the best you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Because real talk, y'all, I get like 15 no's a day on grants. I'm the no king. Ain't nobody getting more no's than me. Shoot, I'm the no king. I'm the guy that walks in, okay, no. Before I even talk, no. Like, damn. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm the no king. No does not bother me. But at the same time, no is the greatest word in my dictionary. Because it's got 3 levels. I got no, I got hell no, and I got F no. Yeah. You hope to never see F no. You know what I'm saying? Because no is a great safety word. It lets people know you have boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, brother, man, as always, you know, you are inspiring. You are working hard. Always believe in yourself. Never give up on yourself. Because not only are you a testament and a visual for your kids to what they can become, but you're a visual for yourself. Because you're, as Michael Jackson said, you're the man in the mirror. And I think when every single man in the mirror and every single woman in the mirror look at themselves, we can better the world. I can only say I have 2 Caucasian friends.
Yeah.
But these people are honest, honorable individuals.
Yeah.
But I don't have time for hating them because I have too much energy to put towards Africa.
Yeah.
I just set the line of scrimmage. Like, this is what you're not going to do in Africa.
Yeah.
You can go do what the hell you want in Europe. Mark my words. I said it last week. Inevitably, all these whites in South Africa are going to have to go. There's no getting around it. This generation of ours is not having it. So as I always say, 2 things I always say. 1, there's no success in skipping steps. The back of the line is just as important in front of the line. Be determined, not desperate. And then the second one, your dreams can be delayed but must never be extinguished. So wait your time while the universe delivers you the right hand. Be determined, not desperate. Kimba, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, brother.
I'm proud of the man you've become.
I'm
so grateful for your life, your love of self, the love that you have for your wife, the marriage, you know, the renewed relationship with your dad.
Yes, sir.
The one that I also have with my father.
Yes,
you can feel it. You have. I think you've completed the circle, man. Now you just polishing, bro. Wax on, wax off. That's all you're doing now because now you setting your legacy, your Hall of Fame credentials, your first ballot Hall of Fame credentials, And you know he's nominated in the year 2097, and hey, man, you do for the Hall of Fame. That's how I see myself. I'm not doing my life to get in the Hall of Fame, but I do know this world is gonna remember me.
Yeah.
And likewise, what my contributions were to it, and how did I make a difference? You know what I'm saying? So, brother, man, I'm so happy that we were able to do this. And most of all, I'm happy that we were able to, I don't know how we pissed away 12 years. Because I think I've known you since 2010. Bro, I can't even.
It was all developing, bro. We ready now.
Yeah, we for sure ready. So, man, brother, another great episode is in week 6. We'll be back again week 7 next week on Kimba's platform. So as far as the websites, make sure you go to IamKingKimba.com, copy that book. It's not free. Support the business. Drop them dollars, drop them yen, drop them euro, drop them naira, drop them whatever money you working with, man. Get this brother's book. I don't want to hear about no free. Ain't no gratis around here, man. That's free in Spanish. Hell no. Ain't no affair around here. That's free in Yoruba. So I got all the languages on lock. Your boy speaks 7 languages. So blessings on blessings, bro. Keep on keeping on, brother. Yes, sir. Peace.
Sanusi Vision. Bless you, brother. We out.
Likewise, man. Bless you, King Kimba. Yes.